Welcome to episode 122 of In Touch with iOS, a podcast that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg. My co-host, Warren Sklar, is here. How you doing, Warren?
I'm good. Good, sad pre-phone day for the two of us, since it's not going to be, everybody's going to be happier than we are for a couple of weeks.
2 weeks, right? And
3 weeks.
That's right, 3 weeks. The November 6th is our pre-order.
It's going to be terrible.
Back on the show here is Mr. Jeff Gamet. Welcome back to the show, Jeff. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and as always, it's great to be with you guys, and thanks for inviting me back.
Absolutely. Yes, so we're on like the eve of people getting their first iPhones. I've already been seeing all the unboxings. I just watched iJustine do her thing, and Renee Ritchie did his thing, and all the others have done their thing with the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro. So, but I disciplined myself because if I remember correctly, was it 3 years ago when I bought the iPhone 8 Plus and then said, a month later, I decided, no, I really want the iPhone 10. So,
that's a bigger difference than, I mean,
that was.
so getting, could I get the Pro and not the Max and be happy? Maybe.
No,
but I probably wouldn't be.
Yeah, so the Max is just way too big for me.
Yeah, no, I like the big phones. I just always like the big phones. I've had the larger ones since they came out. So.
Yep, me too.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll get to the.
My eyes are bad.
You and me both. But we'll get to the iPhone 12, all that stuff in just a bit here. I got some new stories that we got this week, and then some interesting releases in beta this week in the HomePod, and we'll just have some fun like we always do here. So let's go jump right into the news for this week. And this came out today on Mac Rumors. Apple has updated the iMovie and GarageBand iOS with new features. It looks like they updated iMovie and to 2.3 and introduced a few new features, more for support for editing, high dynamic range videos. Surprise, because of the iPhone 12. And from the Photos library, you can do editing there, and option to import and share 4K videos, and lots of other fun stuff. I don't know, Jeff, do you use iMovie or GarageBand on the iPhone or the iPad for that matter that much?
On the iPhone, I use iMovie.
No.
And I haven't recently because there's nowhere to go. That was my video editor of choice at conferences. So, and anytime you saw me do like a video interview with someone at a conference, I would record the video on my iPhone and then immediately do the edits and then upload it to YouTube and then go on and do the next video.
Yeah.
But much to Chuck Joyner's chagrin, because he has an amazing setup and an amazing process, and it takes him weeks after a conference to get all that video content out, but it's so good.
Yeah.
And then,
especially out at CES, he's a machine.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. and I'm
just
just
using Final Cut Pro.
Yeah, and I just do a short video, real fast, holding my phone out, and upload it and move on. And he's like, "What's wrong with you?" I can appreciate his frustration with my style.
That's why everybody does things the way they like to do it.
Yeah.
And GarageBand for iOS was updated with an option to start new audio recordings right from the home screen by touching and holding the app icon, and then a maximum song length and default tempo had been increased from 23 to 72 minutes. So some new audio features. I use GarageBand actually on the Mac that I use to edit this podcast. So I hadn't done as much on the iPad version, but I know the iPad version is a little more robust. I don't know. Did you use any of that, Jeff, with the audio editing with the GarageBand?
A little bit.
Yeah.
And I used to use it all the time. You remember back in the days when GarageBand had all of the features in it for authoring podcasts?
Right.
Yeah.
It's all gone.
It's all gone. So Yeah, I mean, I have a GarageBand on my iPad. I don't know why, but I've got it there just in case.
Okay. Warren, any thoughts on these two apps? How much do you use them much?
Yeah, I dabble. I would say I dabble in them here and there. So I use GarageBand for a little bit when I play with music. I play piano, so that's cool. The updates don't seem too exciting. Like Jeff, they're kind of just living on my iPad and iPhone in case I'll ever need, just in case you'll ever need them. So,
Yeah, you never know.
You never know that they might come. And it's like, I wish I had a music editor in my, hey, there it is.
There it is.
Could happen.
So next story, 9 to 5. This is on 9 to 5 Mac. Apple TV app is going to now launch on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 next month. The Apple TV app is officially coming to game consoles, starting with this announcement from Sony. On the PlayStation blog, the company revealed Apple TV app will be available on November 12th after we record this, which is the same date as the PlayStation 5 release date. And looks like Apple's starting to evolve this Apple TV app. It is on the Xbox already, and with streaming sticks and smart TVs and any place else, I think Apple really wants people to watch their shows. Warren, what do you think of this?
I think for the game consoles, it's going to be very lightly used. I can't see a lot of kids saying, "Oh, I'm happy now that
let's go watch Ted Lasso."
Yeah. Like Call of Duty and killing people is great, but I have to watch two guys riding electric motorcycles up the coast instead. Apple TV is definitely making smart. It's funny. I was listening to the news today, and they had a story about how the Charlie Brown's not going to be on network TV anymore because it's going to Apple TV Plus. And the story made him sound like, Apple's the Grinch. They stole the Grinch. They stole Charlie Brown right from the they stole like our childhood, and now now you have to pay to watch the Great Pumpkin. So it's not a good look, I don't think. For that, but they're trying to get Apple TV out everywhere, and that's what Netflix did, and that's the way to go.
Just got to get on every platform, regardless.
Yep. If it has Wi-Fi and a screen, then that's going to be it.
Any thoughts on that, Jeff?
Warren nailed it with the Netflix comparison. I've been saying since we knew Apple was launching their own streaming content service that they needed to follow the Netflix model and get Apple TV Plus on everything. And I mean, there was a time when it was like you go to the store and buy a toaster and Netflix is bundled, practically. And that's what Apple needs to do. Get it everywhere. It's ubiquitous, and your user base grows.
Absolutely. And I kind of think, even the PlayStation 4, a lot of folks had the PlayStation 4 as their primary means of video. I mean, they had played their Blu-rays and their DVDs on there. So
yes, I know people that's exactly true.
Yeah. So it makes sense. I mean, Netflix is already on there too. So why not Apple TV Plus too? So, yep.
You remember the Wii? The Wii was that old.
The Nintendo Wii. Yeah.
It had Netflix on it. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
that was amazing. Yeah,
I still have a Nintendo Wii sitting in my bun here.
Yeah. I still have a Wii, and I believe the Netflix app is still loaded on it, even though it won't work.
Yeah,
probably won't work anymore.
I think it was like one of it's one of the first places that you were able to get Netflix on like a device. It's crazy.
Yep. So, next story. I don't know if I'm going to kind of a gross out story, but about an important story. This is in 9 to 5 Mac. Earwax in AirPods or a fault. New Apple tool will find that out. When a customer comes into an Apple store to report faulty AirPods, one of the possibilities is a buildup of earwax in their AirPods. This is not really something a store technician wants to be checking personally. To make it less so icky to do so, Apple is rolling out a new test tool to Apple stores, and this was leaked by a Twitter leaker. And then I more later confirmed the report. So indeed, this will just be able to determine is that's what's causing your AirPods from not sounding good or not working and yeah. What do you guys think, Jeff? What do you think? This is something important, but you got to keep your AirPods clean. I mean, come on, people.
Okay, let's start with personal hygiene and keep your ears clean.
Yeah, ears too. Yes.
Yeah, this is just gross. But at the same time, I'm glad Apple is figuring out a way to address an issue so that their employees aren't having to sit there and like shine lights inside AirPods and just
they're even suggesting that they use that Blue Tack reusable adhesive to remove it from the AirPods. There's an actual link in there. I didn't just notice that. I mean, they saying cleaning it isn't difficult, but it does require a little care. A cotton swab and some,
We got it, on social media. I see people asking all the time. It's like, how do you clean out your AirPods and how do you clean out the wax from your AirPods? And I'm like, is this a question you really need to ask the public? Yeah. I mean, you take it, you get some, I don't know, rubbing alcohol and you clean it. I mean, it's not rocket science. You get a toothpick if you have to get a toothpick.
Now, see, I've got that image in my head, and
I know. Me too.
No, the toothpick is for the AirPods, not for your ears. By the way, so.
I know what you meant.
Still,
just thinking about cleaning them.
Yeah, I think my mom's calling. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Never stick a Q-tip. Never stick the Q-tip in too far. That's the moral of the story.
Yes.
It's not supposed to go in the ear; it's the outer rim of the ear.
There you go. All right, this is not a hygiene show. Let's move on. Quibi video service is shutting down after 6 months after launch. Dead. Why am I not surprised about this? 9to5Mac put this on here and many others. Wall Street Journal was reporting the short-form video streaming service will shut down after less than a year. The report says Quibi founder Jeffrey Katzenberg has spent the day calling investors to inform them of the shutdown. And nobody's surprised. I kept actually checking the app. I still have the app on my phone. Of course, you and I, Warren and I, both had it free for a year through T-Mobile. So not that I really watched it ever. I didn't even think about it. I mean, it stopped even bothering. And then this hit today. So I don't think anybody's surprised about this, right guys?
No, they didn't do the Apple Netflix strategy and putting the app everywhere possible.
It wouldn't have mattered in this case.
No,
wouldn't have mattered.
But they were very silly at first too. They only had it only on the iPhone. It wasn't anywhere else, and it's like, all right, well, that just gets rid of about 75% of everybody else, and then then you just forget about it. So I told you.
And they had just yesterday released an app on the Apple TV for it. So just yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gotta hurt. This is a service that when they announced it, I thought this is doomed from day one. This is going to be doomed. Yeah, but at the same time, the concept seems reasonable because you have people that are watching content on their mobile devices already and consuming a lot of content that way. So why not embrace that and create original professional programming that fits with that lifestyle? So, I mean, that sounds good, but the reality is it wasn't going to work. And it seemed obvious to me from the beginning, from before it even launched, that this was not a platform that was going to work. It's 6 months. And, ouch, that's gotta hurt.
They needed a trending show, and they never got one. If they would have got, that's all that like Apple Arcade needed. That's all that Apple TV needs. Like all this new startups, they need some kind of. They need at least one hook where people start talking about it and liking it. Ted Lasso is a good example. I think we all like Ted Lasso, and it's the word it's organically spread. It's kind of like a surprise hit, and that's how people get it and keep the service. But I don't remember Quibi I never walked through the halls or heard on the internet, oh, you got to watch this on Quibi. And that's a problem. They never had they never had the hook.
It looks like, and it also mentions Jeffrey Katzenberg was trying to sell it, and a report was rumored saying that they approached Apple about the acquisition, and Eddie Q said, no.
And I think NBC too. They tried NBC.
Yeah, I think the problem was they have their licensing deal with a lot of these content providers is not good, so they would have to. That would get too messy. So
they were making the wrong content.
Do we have to uninstall the app, or does it just go away?
I think it'll just stop working.
It'll probably just sit there and collect digital dust.
Yeah, exactly. So RIP Quibi. And next story is the Apple TV remote, the remote app. Apple, Mac rumors, Apple has removed the Apple TV remote app from the App Store, which was designed to, of course, let us control our Apple TVs from our iPhones or iPads with a touch-based remote interface. And they're saying it's not quite clear why they nixed the app, but it kind of makes sense because it does have it now built into the Control Center. So, in the Control Center app seems to be very similar, if not the same, and so it's a bit redundant, if I must say. Any thoughts on this, guys?
I have never used the remote app from the Control Center ever.
Okay, well, I guess we are now.
Yeah, I guess so.
I do. I have in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I used it. It works. But it hadn't been updated since iOS 12, so obviously the writing was on the wall that the Apple was going to eventually abandon.
It definitely gets more. It gets more use than the actual Apple remote does.
That's true
in my house.
Or if you have the Control 101 remote, of course.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, Control Center easy to get to. So if you wanted to bring it down and use it. I think it makes sense that they nixed it. Yeah, another app.
It's kind of sad though that it was the very first app on the App Store.
Was it really? Oh, yeah, the actual first remote. Yeah. That was and the iTunes remote too. It was one of the first. Yeah.
So we lost Quibi and the remote control app all in the same week.
One.
This is terrible.
Yeah, it's a rough week for entertainment.
It is.
Yeah.
Now you can't. Now that you have the dead Quibi app on your Apple TV, you can't even find a way to get to the dead app on the Apple TV.
Yeah. Next story. This is Ars Technica. iPhone 12, the 12 Pro, and the iPad Air orders have begun, and they pre-ordered. This was back about a week ago. The pre-orders had begun on the 16th of October for the 12 and 12 Pro, and then as well as the iPad Air. And it looks like the iPad Air is shipping, and of course everybody's going to have their iPhone 12 and 12 Pros in their hands. I think Australia and New Zealand already have them.
It's tomorrow there, so they have their.
It's tomorrow there, so they have theirs already. So they're always the first to find out to play first, and looks like the iPad Air is also going to be out and shipping, and that's good. It's good to see that because that was talked about. Seems like yesterday, like forever ago. But good to hear. What do you guys think?
Well, now we're at the point where if someone says, "Can you recommend an iPad to me?"
Yeah,
just general use iPad. Without hesitation, I'll say the new iPad Air.
Yeah, I mean the Touch ID. I mean that's always the other thing. Why they didn't think about that on the iPhone, I don't know. But it's a great technology that they put on this Air. Not have for folks who don't like the Face ID. So and then they have the A14 processor in there as well. So
it's getting good reviews. People like it. I've seen the early reviews. The phone unboxings are coming too, and you're getting a better look at some of the colors. A lot of people got the blue, and they said it looks better in person than you would. Hope.
That's pretty normal for Apple colors.
Yeah, I'm not on the blue train this year. Everybody else is getting this nice blue.
Yeah, I am. Blue watch.
I'm totally on the blue train.
I'll be in blue iPhone too.
I love the green. I wish they continued the green from last year. Actually,
the Boba Fett green is really nice.
I loved it. Yeah, it's hunter green. It's my favorite color. and now I have to sell it. Now I'll never see it again. I never really saw it before because I always had a case on it, so it's kind of sad anyway. So,
I need to mention that thing with you with cases in just a minute. Hold that thought when we get through the news here.
Okay.
So they're saying the other phones, of course, the 12 mini and the 12 Pro Max will be shipped pre-order on the 6th. We'll talk about that just a bit here. So, a couple more stories here. The iPhone 12 is going to support over-the-air or OTA iOS updates on 5G. Okay, whoop-de-doo, because 5G is still not going to be available in most areas. So,
and even if it is, it's not going to be really any faster than LTE.
So users will be able to decide. This was actually a Redmond Pi is one where I quoted this. Users will be able to decide whether or not they want to run their phones in low data mode, standard, or allow more data when they're connected to the cellular network, like they always do. So, and there is a choice in there to allow to allow more data on 5G. So again, not going to have much 5G coverage, so I don't think it's going to be kind of much of a point for that to be happening.
We'll have a good amount of the regular 5G, I think. Just not the ultra band, which which is sad, but I think there'll be, at least you're in Chicago, I'm in Philly, Jeff, you're in out.
I'm in Boulder,
West, in Colorado,
Denver, Boulder.
So we'll have decent 5G coverage, I think. But as you just said, I don't think it's going to be that much better.
Been to Boulder.
No, I want to go. I would love to go to Boulder.
You're welcome
through,
and we need to hang out when you show up here.
But the internet's not good. But the network's not good. Is that what you're saying?
Cellular. I mean, it's fine, but you choose the cellular service that you're going to have based on what part of Boulder you live in.
But the elevation's so high, you're closer to the satellite. So you should have like really strong service.
I know. So what's the problem here?
Exactly. I mean, you're closer to the sun. I mean,
I know.
We're here in the valley. We're getting, we're still getting things. We're down in these deserts.
Yeah, I know. It should just be better because we're so much higher, and tall and high antennas are better.
Yeah,
right?
And the snow, you got all the signals, bouncing off the snow and
right. See, I feel like I'm being ripped off.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah, well, soon enough, Warren, you'll be in Chicago, so then you'll get to.
It keeps pushing it back. She wants to come out and visit the office, and she's trying to get that going, but see how it goes.
Yeah, it's going to be a while yet.
Yep.
It's going to be a while yet. But and last story I had this week, Apple is eyeing quote unquote express store format to help deal with the iPhone 12 demand. Apple is going to be expanding a new physical store format, the Express, as it prepares for the high iPhone 12 demand. Dedrick O'Brien, the senior vice president of retail and people at Apple, had told this to Reuters. The Express stores, which will be come as the COVID-19 rates are rising around the U.S. and Europe, has built a wall front of a main store with sales counters protected by plexiglass and few shelves and accessories such as cases and AirPods and such. So you have to make an appointment to go to the store, and this makes total sense, especially some of those malls that you have to walk through to get to the store. And I think Best Buy did that. They used to have express stores. I don't think they have them anymore, but seems like a good idea. And make life easy to try to cut down on the long lines that may occur when the iPhone goes on sale tomorrow. So as we record this, what'd you guys think?
I thought Apple had already been doing this. So this
I thought so
was
too. It's kind of like outside the store. Yeah, this may actually is going to be a quote unquote express store. They're saying. Yeah,
well, the 29th Street Apple store. So that's the one that's closest to me in Boulder.
Yeah.
As soon as they could reopen, they set up the big canopy things out in front of the store on the sidewalk, and because it's on an outdoor mall,
right.
And so they've had this whole setup where they're doing practically everything for the store outside under these canopies. And I just assumed that's what Apple was doing everywhere, but apparently not. If it's news that they're setting up what I'll call the outdoor store, which I think sounds nicer than Express Store.
See, over here on our side, we have malls, and they're all in the malls. These stores.
A few of those are here.
Yeah, so they can't really do the same thing. So I told you a story about the Apple Watch I was trying to buy. So I went to the mall unplanned, and I passed the Apple store. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll buy myself the Watch 6 because why not? And I walked into the Apple store area, and you have to wait to get tested for COVID, and then they'll let you in. But I'm like, do you have any Apple Watches?
Temperature.
Yeah, and I'm like, do you have any Apple Watch 6s? And he went on his iPad outside the store and said, yeah, we have this one and this one. I'm like, great, I think I'll buy one. Okay, great. Except you have to make an appointment, and our next appointment's not for, and it was like 2 hours from the time I was there. I'm like, what are you, crazy? I'm not waiting. I'm not going to kill time for 2 hours. I want to buy this now. So I never bought it. So, it's a pain. And usually, Fridays used to be the day where, like, if I didn't order prior to, I would try to get the phone on launch day without the pre-ordering, and that was fun. And it's kind of sad that you can't really do it.
Yep. Well, same here. We had when I had to get my Mac actually repaired, they had a little tent set up outside the store. You had to wait in line. They checked your temperature a bunch of times, and then I actually was in that appointment. They let me in the store because they had to do some testing because it was my Mac. But yeah, I think a lot of the stores are like that. But the other store that's by me is in the mall, so I have not gone into it's Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, Illinois. Have not gone in there since the pandemic. So not sure what they're doing over there, but I would think it's safe to go in there, but. As long as you're maintaining that social distancing, but
stay in your spacesuit.
Keep your spacesuits on. Yep. So that was in Apple World today. I quoted that. So a couple things I want to talk about here. Warren, I guess last week you decided you wanted to think to see if you could sell your iPhone 11 Pro Max ahead of time, and then it kind of backfired.
Right.
Because it worked.
Because it worked.
I'll tell you my quick story. So I knew I was going to want the phone, and I didn't know, how it was going to space out between the Pro Max launch date and the regular date. So 5 days before the keynote, I went on a couple of the sell your phone websites, and I went on to the. I heard a bunch of podcasts doing an app for Swappa. And they said, not Swappa, Declutter. I'm sorry, for Declutter, and you got an extra 10% off. You got an extra 10% on top of your quote. So I put in my my request, and they were going to offer me $790 for my 11 Pro Max 256 gig, which was pretty good. So I took that offer. And then, of course, the announcement came out, and I can't order my phone I can't get my phone until the 13th. And you have 28 days to send them your phone. Otherwise, they change the price on you. So I'm starting to panic here. Like, what am I going to do? So plan A is going to be to send it in early and then possibly find a phone to use for a week.
Which I was going to be kind enough to lend you one of the ones I have.
Dave was going to lend me one, or, Best Buy is sometimes kind enough to let you return things here and there. So that's one. But somebody on Facebook said they would take it for me. And I said, I'll give it to you for $775. And I happen to have about $5,000 worth of cases for
based on
Pro Max.
photos that I've seen. I don't
for the photos I saw, you're not.
You
have you have a sickness, an illness. I think
these things go on sale, and you just have to have them. And I like changing them out. I have all the bands. I like to match them up. So yeah, I have like for the leather Apple ones, I have a bunch of the Otter boxes. I have the Pops. I just have too many of them. So, and that's really the saddest part of all this. Like you get the new phone. It's like now I have to start this all over again. So anyways, I told the guy, for $775, he'll take it after I could get my new phone. I'll send him all the cases for free. He'll be happy, and I'll get my new phone, and then I'll have to start my case collection again.
Oh my gosh. I saw that picture. I just, yeah.
I love them all. And I love them all.
I have maybe two, possibly three. I'll readily admit I am bad with watch bands. I do have probably about 14, but I'm not as bad as somebody, a friend of mine all of a sudden pulls out his big case of bands that.
Oh yeah, I got the case.
You got that whole case of bands. Yeah. So.
You're
a crazy man.
Apple devices.
But that's why we love you.
Apple devices are meant to be personalized. They're things that you just have. In fact, Kelly and somebody else they had a whole conversation today on their show about cases, whether to go naked or not on the new phone. TMO. Yeah, TMO. I would consider it. I would consider not doing a case, but I'm just scared. Just scared about dropping it.
All it takes is one drop.
Yeah.
And then you wish that you'd spent $5,000 on cases.
It happened to me once, and I dropped my phone, and luckily it happened the same day that I had just got. Not luckily, it was unfortunate. Luckily, Apple swapped it out and gave me a break. But yeah, you just never know. I mean, obviously, these as they've been talking about with the ceramic shield on the new 12 on the glass, you got 4 times less of a chance of it breaking. But tomorrow you want to be protected.
Tomorrow we'll get this. People are going to start purposely seeing how breakable it is, which is good. I'm
waiting for the videos.
Yeah, we'll see how they go. But yeah, I'll get a case. I don't think they don't have a big selection yet from what I saw.
Yeah, I'll get the clear case through Apple and probably end up like a spec. The one I got when I was at CES for this one is the spec, which I really like.
Yeah, spec makes nice cases.
Yep. And they got the micro, what is it, antibacterial cases now. So I probably
heard that one
get
too.
One of those too. So
you can lick your case.
Yeah, you can almost lick it. Yeah,
you can eat off it.
Yeah, maybe even eat off of it. So, so then. I think everybody knows what phones we're going to be getting. I have already said that I'm going to be using the Apple upgrade program and going to trade mine in for an i11 12 Pro Max. And so I'll be up. At least I don't have to get up at 2 a.m. To do it. I could do it at 7 a.m. my time to place the order, and 8 a.m. your time
for me. So that's good.
Yeah. So, Jeffrey, have you decided? Are you going to get the 12 Pro or Pro Max, or not the Max? I know you don't like the big one, but
yeah,
are you holding off?
No, I haven't ordered yet, and I didn't set an alarm to get up at 6 a.m. and order a phone. Yeah. So by the time I got up, the delivery date's already pushed out, and I thought, at this point, it's totally psychological, but I want to place an order when I can have it right away. So I'll just wait to order. And sure. I'm going to order a 12 Pro Blue 256.
All right, great. Awesome. So
what do you think of the gold? The gold looks actually interesting this year, doesn't it?
The gold looks interesting, but I'm not a fan of gold like that.
I'm not either.
I don't want a C3PO phone.
It just looks better this year for something. Well, on the keynote it looked good. So I'm scared. I'm too scared to do it. I always say one day I'm going to try the gold, and I never do it. So I think I'm just going to get the graphite one at this point. It's the best chance of getting it.
If there wasn't blue, then I would go with graphite. And this will be the first time I've bought an iPhone where I decided I actually want a color, not just the dark graphite, space gray, or whatever they call it at the time.
Right. Yeah, as I said, you won't even see it with the case on it anyways. But the blue is nice, but the green, I'm going to miss the green. It's sad, very sad.
Well, that's what Apple does. 1 year of color, and they
yeah. Why is that? What's stopping them? They already have all the paint. Just keep going. Keep the same color from last year.
Time to make another exciting color.
Well, they did Boba Fett last year. This year they're doing C-3PO.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, when they did the Jet Black, we've had Darth Vader.
That's right, Jet Black. I forgot about that color. And fingerprint,
the blue
fingerprint city.
The Blue Man Group is this year, I guess.
Yeah, or R2D2, I suppose.
Yeah, there you go.
Pacific Blue.
I can't wait to see what Star Wars colors we get next year.
So, and as far as updates this week, they did release iOS 14.1, and which was probably one of the most bizarre releases I had seen in quite a while. They briefly released 14.1 last week and then immediately pulled it, but then put it in Golden Master under developers, and then you couldn't install it over the air. You had to manually install it through the Finder to get it if you wanted to update it ahead of time. But you had to be a developer in order to do that, so it made no sense. So then a couple days ago, they finally released 14.1, and I was anticipating they would wait till towards the like today, because the iPhone 12 will be in everybody's hands. But they decided to do it on Tuesday. So it did fix some bugs and some fixes, but it brought the bug back of resetting your default mail and browser back to mail into Safari, which is still bizarre. But you were gonna say something, Jeff?
I was going to mention the bug is back, but also I expected the update to land on Wednesday.
Yeah, because it's a little closer to the 12th. Yeah,
because they wouldn't do it on Thursday or Friday. Friday being launch day.
Right.
So they've done it 2 days before the product release in the past, hence Wednesday, but we got it on Tuesday. Yeah, with the initial thing where it rolled out and then disappeared and had to be a developer. I've got a developer account, so I could have gone and grabbed it.
Well done.
But I thought, if it's bouncing around like this, I'll wait.
Yeah, it would have been just more work. But
just
of course,
a quick note on that real fast with the developer. Just keep in mind, I got burned on this a few times, but if you're on the beta and you get the new phone, your backup won't work. It won't restore to the phone out of the box because it's going to be a newer backup. And so you can, I've done this. You can overwrite your phone that's on the beta currently with the 14.1. It works, except your photo library has to re-download itself again, which is a pain in the butt, just so you know. But you'll have to do that, then make a backup, and then you can restore to the 12. So,
and this is why I never run beta on my mission critical devices.
No, you just have to know how to get around it. And so that's
I know how to get around it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get around it. I'll just wait.
Yeah, this is why I have sacrificial iPads.
Well, you know, the first thing I'm going to do when I get my new phone is put the beta on it. So
of course.
Yeah. So I'll be fine.
Well, and who knows? By then, 14.2 might be out.
I don't have to.
Well,
exactly.
14.2 will be out, but then I'll be on something else. So.
Speaking of beta, 14.2 beta 4 was released, and it's also out in the public. That was released as well. I didn't see. I don't know. Have you noticed anything of big changes that they added for this round of testing?
I haven't. No.
Didn't we get some new emoji?
That's what I heard.
It's hard for me to keep track because there's so many emoji and the whole interface
so many
for
emotions.
accessing them is garbage. And so, I'm flipping through trying to find, like the little celebration horn or something. And I see an emoji that I don't recognize, which either means I've just never noticed it or it's new.
I think in my life I've used 2 emojis ever. and one's like a thumbs up, and the other one's like maybe a smiley face. That's all you need. What else do you need?
Yeah, it does say add a new emoji to the OS, and fourth beta is probably, like I said, it's probably just bringing some more changes and bug fixes. Of course, we know that they've done a deeper integration of Shazam into the OS and a beautiful music widget and for the control center.
Yeah. Now I'm expecting this iOS release to come out to the public about the same time that HomePod Mini is available, because I'm expecting. Well, not expecting. I know this is the update that adds in the features to be able to do intercom.
Right. So that's right. True. Yes. We found that out yesterday. Dave and I did. So the 14, the beta that I'm on, I compared it with my wife, who's not on the beta. If you go into the home app,
it's not there.
Well, if you're on beta, it is. So if you go on
beta, right? Not 14.1 though.
So I don't know if you guys can see this on the home app. There's a little thing on the top right that looks like a little sound wave, and that's the intercom on the home app. So if you click on that, it says intercom, and then you could talk. And then I talked, and then my HomePods played what was on what I said, and it basically just plays out. It blurts out what you said. So. That does add the home. That adds the intercom to the phones. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to go the other way because I'm really curious of how it's going to work. Like if somebody does the intercom to the HomePod, do all the phones just blurt out in the middle of nowhere?
No. What happens is you get an alert that intercom has sent you a message, and there's a play button.
Okay, that makes more sense because. My son has a CarPlay and we have the EarPods. And I just don't want to scare the bejesus out of people when I, use the intercom.
I kind of want to, but yeah.
Turn around, watch out.
What are you doing?
Get your hands on the wheel. Things like that.
And then briefly with beta, we'll dive into the HomePod a little more deeper here, just a sec here. Apple did seed a fourth beta of the watchOS 7.1, and doesn't look like there was much that anybody even knows that added. I don't know if you updated to that or not.
I did that today. Yeah. The only interesting thing is there's two versions of it, of the update, and nobody knows why. I don't know if you saw that. But
I didn't see that. But if you Warren, if you're running beta HomePod as well.
Not the HomePod.
Okay. No, this is Apple Watch. Yeah, the HomePod is not in beta. I do not think.
No. So, but he's saying something else. But go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. 14.2 beta. Yes.
Yeah. So if you're running the current developer beta on HomePod, and you're running beta on Apple Watch, so you have 7.1, you can actually do the intercom thing with Apple Watch. So that's one of the things that we get in 7.1.
Oh, okay.
How?
Gotcha. I didn't even think of that. Good thing.
Oh, yeah, look at that. My watch has an on my home.
See, he didn't even know. He's the one that's got the beta on everything.
Wait. See, this is why Warren shows up to the podcast, so he can learn.
Wait for this. Hold on. Who's winning?
And will they be able to respond to you?
Yeah, the current.
Can they just respond?
They're confused. Yeah, they're responding to me.
But you just hear them in the other room, not actually on it.
We're playing with the intercom. This is the thing I told you about with the home thing. Never mind.
Warren's family.
Warren lives in the future.
He's awesome.
He's going to drive him crazy.
Who's winning?
He probably.
The Eagles winning 7-0, but we got the ball on their 40-yard line.
Okay, thank you.
Are you still on their podcast?
Yes. We're testing out the intercom.
Okay.
All right, there we go. And I got the score.
Now,
this is great.
This is exactly how this technology works. The person that's really into it uses it to talk to the other person, but the other person, instead of talking back through intercom, either yells across the house or comes.
Right. Well, I haven't figured out how. I have to teach them how to do the reply at this point, so they haven't got that far yet.
So just save them a trip.
Yes. Fun.
I didn't expect that one at all.
No, that was great. I'm not happy about the Eagles winning, but it's still fun.
Early.
It's early.
It's early. At least we're not talking about the presidential debates. That's going on right now too. So
please not.
Let's not. Also wanted to talk about. I actually attended a conference yesterday. It was a press event for the different stuff for the holiday season coming up, and one of the things that caught my eye was a lot of the new chargers that are being released by many of the manufacturers, including Anker and Aukey. And we got a link in the show notes from imore.com, some of the best iPhone 12 chargers. And the one that really caught my eye was the one by Anker. It's a nano iPhone charger. It's got 20 watts of charging. And it's got the IQ sensor in there. It's only like $16. So it's a little less than the if you were to buy the one from Apple. That's 20 watts, and it's a little bit bigger, the Apple one. But I thought this one was pretty cool. And this story is also showing the 20 watt one from Apple, which is $19. And then Aukey also has one, the same type of technology, the auto sensing for fast charging. And so it looks like some cool chargers are really going to be coming out of all this change that Apple forced them not including the adapter in the box.
Yeah, I'm looking at the adapter just now, and yeah, there's some really nice stuff.
Yeah, even Aukey has the one that's a 30 watt that's on there, and that's only $16. That's got also USB A as well as USB C. That would charge pretty quick here too. So
the RAV power they have on there, the 30 watt 2-port fast charger.
The RAV powers are good. Yeah.
I was about to show it to you, but it's not sitting on my desk. I bought one on Amazon Prime Day.
Yeah.
And it was $10.
Yeah, so you got a good deal on that.
Yeah.
I think this one says it's 14, so it's a couple bucks more. But
I think I have one of them. But I have a few. Some of them are any of those GAN ones, or no? They don't need to be.
No, I don't think they need to be. They're not though.
Right.
The GAN, which GAN is the even quicker charging.
It's a quicker charger
system.
and the smaller. Yeah. So I think I have one of the Aukeys, but it's also GAN. So one of the USB Cs will do the MacBook, and the other one could do the iPad or a phone. So there's 2 ports on it.
Yeah, I think they got some 65 watt ones, and I think there was one. Actually, Kelly was we were talking about that last week. The 100 watt the adapter that is pretty sweet.
Yeah,
that's fast charging.
That's a good one.
Yeah, if we ever go back to a time where I can travel regularly, I'm definitely getting 100 watt small GAN.
The small GAN, yeah.
I got one
for my MacBook Pro.
Yep, that's great
for travel.
I have one it's 100 watt and it's 2 USB C and 1 USB A, and it's pretty much all I use now for my phone and my laptop. It's perfect.
So if anything that came of this, of everybody complaining that Apple's no longer including the power charger in the box, now you've got some more options, and probably would want to have one that's an all-in-one that can be used for your MacBook and your iPhone, your iPad, and not have to carry all these adapters with you.
But here's the question. Here's my question. The puck. I realize that for all this to happen, yes.
Okay.
You're going to need more than one, right? You're not going to you're going to want to use this as your charger because it's 15 watt and it's the trick of the new iPhone. You're not going to want to keep it with your phone, right? Like if I want to I'm going to want one in my car probably, and I'm going to want one in the kitchen. I'm going to want one by my bed. So we're going to have to start buying this puck for different rooms of our house.
Yeah, buy 2 from Apple for your home, and then 1 from Belkin because they're doing the in-car one.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna assume that third parties are going to be coming out with hopefully cheaper versions of this thing, because these are going to be like the new cables. This is like a new charger. Like, so if I'm in bed and when I'm in bed, I like to use my phone plugged in because I don't want to, I don't want the battery to keep charged. I just want to put it back down. So I'm assuming now if I have the puck on the bottom, I could do the same thing. I could take the cable with the puck on the bottom, just put it back down. So, these are going to be kind of replacing the cable, I think, in a lot of places for me. So, it's just, I don't know. I think that all the cases should come with a puck, but that's just me. I guess that's what I'm saying. Put a case in with put a puck in with the case that you buy from Apple. Just do it.
Yeah, well, it isn't going to happen.
No.
I think Apple's they got to keep the environmentally friendly packaging and not all these things going to the landfill. So
buy stock in the pucks.
Yeah, definitely. Any other thoughts before we move on to the next topic? All right, let's go ahead and talk about the HomePod a little bit. We just touched on this a little bit ago. They did finally release 14.1 that did add the intercom support to the HomePod, and of course making it all ready for the Mac, the HomePod Mini that was coming out. I linked back to a story here in the show notes to our friends over at Mac Stories did a really great hands-on with the HomePod's new intercom and. Talking about alarms and Siri tricks, and we already found the trick that you found that you didn't even realize that the Apple Watch had it built into the beta software that you had running. Of course, I wasn't able to try that yet since I don't have that phone, my beta phone hooked up to the HomePods, but it looks like we got some really cool things going on here. I think the intercom system itself is going to be really great, and it's definitely going to make things pretty cool. And then adding the HomePod Mini. The HomePod Mini, I think, is going to be a really hot seller. It's got the U1 chip capability, so you're going to be able to use your iPhone, make it even smarter when you come up and connect to it. Where's your guys' thoughts with this? I know for sure. I think I'm going to get at least one HomePod Mini to add to my collection here of the two HomePods I have already. But Jeff, where's your thoughts been with the HomePod? Where do you think you're going to buy one?
I think I'm going to end up buying one. My home setup right now, I have one HomePod, and it sits in the living room and it streams music, and I have it's basically a music streaming device. It sounds really nice, and a kitchen timer. And so I thought, well, that's it. I will never buy another HomePod because at $350, well, now it's $300. That's too much money to spend on the way I use this. But then the HomePod Mini comes out or gets announced, and at $99 with all the features that we have, all of a sudden the idea of putting one of these in the bedroom seemed very appealing because I could do it and it's not that expensive, and I'll be using it exactly the way I expect to use it as a $99 speaker. It will be a streaming music speaker, and that's about it. I'll talk to it for a few other things, but just like I do with the big HomePod. But basically, it's a purchase I really don't have to think about. It just is one of those things at $99. Yeah, I'll just get it.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too. I mean, well, like I said, I got a birthday coming up, so I'll get someone to buy it for me. But I like to have it in another room because I keep my two HomePods as a pair here in my office, and at least now I've been able to have a HomePod Mini in another room, and then I can drive my way.
One thing I can't remember with the HomePod Mini, if you have two of them, can you set them up to do stereo the same way you can? Okay. So I could see if I really like how it works, actually getting a second HomePod Mini, putting those in the living room and taking the big HomePod and moving it into the bedroom. And then I have stereo HomePod music in the living room.
Yeah. Now, the only thing is you can't pair a mini and a regular HomePod together. They
Which
have to
makes sense.
Be separate. Which makes sense just because the sheer size of the speakers. So
yeah.
Thoughts on Warren? You'll definitely get a HomePod Mini at least.
Actually,
one, right?
I don't think I am. I mean,
No.
Who are you? What did you do with Warren?
Well, I got suckered into buying 2 of the regular HomePods, and I really don't use them that much, so I don't know.
Okay.
The intercom might, I might get one and put it in the basement so I can yell at my son to come upstairs with the intercom. So for $99, that might be a good thing to do. I might get one, like you said, as a gift. Somebody might give it to me and they'll ask me what I want. It's just to see what it sounds like and looks like, just to say I have it.
Yeah. And then a lot of the improvements in this on Siri, especially, I don't know if I would be using it for maps. I guess you could do it using your iPhone, but why would you want to do directions on your HomePod?
Well, it transfers to your phone, I guess. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't get that either.
The scenario that I came up with, and I had to really think about this one. You decide you want to go somewhere where you're sitting on the couch. Yeah. So instead of just grabbing your phone and getting it all set up there, you tell your HomePod where you want to go. And then when you get up off the couch and pick up your phone off of the end table or whatever, where it's been out of reach because you live like an animal.
Right. Yeah.
Then,
I was going to say, why is my phone in my hand? Where is this?
I know. I know. See, this is why it's a stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the best I could come up with.
And then I got my watch on my wrist. I mean, it's what do I, that's a crazy scenario. Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be a few weeks yet till we see the HomePod Mini. Again, that'll be pre-ordered the same day that we pre-order our iPhone the 12 Pro Maxes, and it's definitely going to be interesting. A couple weeks here, and more things that we get excited about.
See what tomorrow is like. I'm just going to avoid social media tomorrow, so I don't have to watch people get their.
I think you'll be okay.
I'll survive it.
I've lived and learned, so I think you can too.
Yeah, we'll all get through this together.
Yes, we will. All right, with that, let's unless you guys have anything else, let's go ahead and wrap things up, and we'll have another episode to a close here. That is a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, and suggestions to our email address, feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Twitter at intouchwithios, and you can subscribe in your favorite podcatcher, including Apple Podcasts and many others. But better yet, go to our website at intouchwithios.com, where all the links to all the ways to listen to us are there. I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can find me on Twitter at DaveG65. And Jeff, thanks for being back on the show.
Yeah,
Where can everybody find you?
Thanks for having me on. It's always a blast.
And tell us about, is your podcast very close to being released, is it not?
It's very close. Sometimes the personal world gets in the way. And so I had to, I had to put some stuff on hold. So I'm so close to launching, but I had to put that on hold. The wildfires in Colorado put me in a position where, while I'm not in harm's way, I had to deal with family members that were in harm's way.
Gotcha.
Good luck with that.
And where people can find you on the socials?
Oh, sure. Almost forgot about that. Instagram and Twitter, I am Jay Gamet. Can I throw a quick plug out?
Of course.
Awesome. On, what's the date? October 28th, I am moderating a panel on a meetup group about using Zapier for automation. And so it's a brand new meetup group specifically for people that want to use Zapier. So the event's called How to Get in the Automation Mindset plus Intro to Zapier. And the other people that are on the panel, Maddie Osman, Joe Caspona, and Jimmy Rose, they're like really into automation with Zapier. So we're going to have a lot of fun.
Way cool. Is this a paid event or?
It's free. All you have to do is sign up on Meetup.
All right. I'll put the link in the show notes then. Yeah, that'd be great. And Warren, Mac to the Future keeps ticking on. Lots of good stuff out there.
Just people getting, tomorrow's going to be just picture after picture of people getting their phones and posting it. I'm expecting just a bunch of posts of people posting their 5G speeds. I got this speed. Thank you. Thanks for showing me your 5G speed. The
moderators are going to be busy. You're going to have to just create a post just for the pictures, right?
It's going to be pictures, pictures of phones and their 5G upload speed test.
The 5G speed test and the showing the 5G icon too.
Exactly. Yes, I know. We understand what it does. Thank you for. You're showing us the same picture that everybody else has, so that's great.
Well, we'll report back next week in that next episode, and we can talk about all that fun stuff what everybody has reported so far. But then again, we may not, because we're going to be jealous because they have their new phones and we don't.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we will talk to you again soon.